Today, we are going to be answering the question, how many one-hit wonders are associated with Sweathogs?
Now, when you say Sweathogs, I instantly think the old sitcom from the 70s, Welcome Back, Kotter. So is this associated with just that show?
Maybe, maybe not. And as we delve into it, we're going to be touching on lots of different people you may have heard of. Rick James, Mandy Moore.
I'm also seeing The Lovin' Spoonful, Olivia Newton-John, and even Lucille Ball.
Oh, yeah. So buckle up.
It's going to be a fun ride. Hey there, I'm John Weber.
And I'm Mike Sauter, and this is the CHARTstoppers channel where we delve into the backstories behind one-hit wonders from 1960 to 1999.
If you could like this video, maybe leave a comment, that'd be great. If you could subscribe to CHARTstoppers, we would so appreciate it because it really helps us make more videos.
And without any further ado, let's get into that question of how many one-hit wonders are associated with Sweathogs. So what is a Sweathog exactly? Most 1970s sitcom watchers will remember the Sweathogs as the name for the students who were main characters on the TV series Welcome Back, Kotter. Early coverage of the series called the high school setting a zoo-like class of remedial readers and potential dropouts known as the Sweathogs. The cast of the show included no one-hit wonders, however. Actor Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, who played Freddie Boom Boom Washington, sang backing vocals on the Rick James album Street Songs. That's the album featuring Super Freak. However, Hilton Jacobs had no hits of his own. Cast member Marcia Strassman, a.k.a. Mrs. Kotter, also had a singing career. She released a few albums but had no hits. The big kahuna, musically speaking, from Welcome Back, Kotter was, of course, John Travolta, who not only became a movie star, but a recording artist. He was no one-hit wonder, though. His pair of hits with Olivia Newton-John from the musical blockbuster Grease are well remembered. You're the One That I Want topped the chart in June 1978, and the follow-up single Summer Nights hit number 5 on the pop chart. Even before those smashes, and prior to his star turn in Saturday Night Fever, Travolta parlayed his popularity on Welcome Back, Kotter into the big solo hit Let Her In mid-1976, which got to number 10. He also had minor hits with All Strung Out on You at number 34 and Whenever I'm Away From You at number 38.
Here's the thing that I remember about John Travolta. I do remember the song Let Her In, and it was not great. But I didn't realize he had other singles, and I'd totally forgotten about Grease, which I didn't even remember that Summer Nights was a singles release. It did that well on the Hot 100.
Oh yeah, those were huge sellers.
John Travolta also had a Broadway career before he started doing TV, and he was in the show Grease. He did not play the lead like he did in the movie. He played one of the supporting characters. But yeah, the guy has a Broadway pedigree, if you will.
He's a triple threat.
Oh, yeah. Great dancer. Good point. Good point.
So none of the actors from Welcome Back, Kotter were one-hit wonders. However, there was a one-hit wonder associated with the TV show. The theme song for the series was written and performed by John Sebastian, the former frontman of the band The Lovin' Spoonful. Let's look back at John Sebastian and The Lovin' Spoonful. The band were certainly not one-hit wonders. They had 10 top 40 hits to their credit, including one number 1 and an additional 6 top 10 hits. The Lovin' Spoonful had exploded out of the gate in late 1965 when their debut single Do You Believe in Magic went to number 9, starting an enviable chart run of one top 10 hit after another in 1966. In May of 1966, two members of the Lovin' Spoonful, guitarist Zale Yanofsky and bassist Steve Boone, were arrested for pot possession in San Francisco. Yanofsky was Canadian, and after being threatened with his deportation, he and Boone gave up their dealer to the police, and the dealer was later arrested. When word of their actions spread, some people in the counterculture underground were outraged that they named names to the cops. Just to show how angry this made some folks, an ad was bought in the underground newspaper, the Los Angeles Free Press, in July of 1967. "Steve Boone and Zale Yazinski of the Lovin' Spoonful are finks," read the ad, misspelling Yazinski's name. The ad urged readers to take several actions, including protest radio airplay of the band, burn albums and merch by the Lovin' Spoonful, and don't have sex with band members. John Sebastian and drummer Joe Butler were out of town when the drug bust took place, so they weren't even involved. Sebastian later lamented the backlash, particularly since he wasn't even there when the incident occurred. Janowski left the band in 1967, and while they still managed to have 4 more top 40 hits in 67, Sebastian left the band and they broke up in 1968. Sebastian was not only a prolific songwriter, a singer, and a guitar player, but he was a strong harmonica player. In fact, Sebastian is the one playing harmonica on the Doors' Roadhouse Blues, credited as G. Pugliese for legal reasons. He also performed live with the Doors on occasion.
All right, now listen, at this time I would like to introduce a friend of ours, a very talented guy named John Sebastian. Come on, man.
John Sebastian played the blues harp on the title song from Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's Deja Vu album. His skills on the harmonica may have been genetic, as his father was a renowned classical harmonica player.
This is incredible. Mike, I had no idea, and I'm not trying to cast shade on harmonica players at all, but I had no idea there was classical harmonica.
And neither did I, but apparently John Sebastian's father was, well, I was going to say he was banging the drum for that, but I guess that's really a totally different instrument. But yeah, no, he was really pushing the harmonica as a classical instrument. But you don't, I guess it didn't really catch on, or you don't really hear much today about orchestral harmonica playing.
Hey, if a composer is writing a classical piece and he wants harmonica, I guess you want somebody as good as a John Sebastian.
Fun fact, Sebastian's mom was a radio scriptwriter and actress who also happened to be a good friend of fellow actress Vivian Vance. Vance played Ethel on I Love Lucy and was also John Sebastian's godmother. After Sebastian recorded his debut solo album but was waiting for its release, he went on to hang out at the Woodstock Festival. He wasn't booked to play, he was just there backstage watching the performers. After some rain, the festival crew didn't want to set up another electric band due to water on the stage and the risk of electrical shock. So Sebastian was asked if he could go out and entertain the crowd until they could dry off the stage. He didn't even bring a guitar with him, so he borrowed one and played a 25-minute set. He ended up being included in the subsequent movie and soundtrack album, making him one of the luckiest attendees of Woodstock and giving him an accidental career boost. So this has always been amazing to me, is that John Sebastian just shows up. He's just there hanging out, and he ends up in the movie and on the album, which is what made Woodstock the phenomenon that it was. I mean, yeah, it was a huge event and it was a big milestone at the time, but what really gave it its lasting cultural impact was the movie and the album. And he just kind of Forrest Gumped his way into that. There were people who were booked and were there, like intentionally, that were not included in the movie or were not included on the album. And so, what a lucky dude.
I have to wonder if that isn't both ways, though, because I mean, come on, John Sebastian is a nice guy. I don't know a lot about him, but his image was very much the nice guy hippie. So he really is some nice glue for the album and for the movie to kind of hold things together. Because, here's a guy who's really good on stage, really good talking to a crowd. Not every rock star can do that.
That is true. And he, shall we say, was apparently feeling no pain during his performance either, because of you could just tell watching him, he was having a good time. He was having a groovy time.
Well, that's a big part of Woodstock as well.
However, by the mid-1970s, Sebastian's musical career had gone cold. Albums weren't selling, singles weren't getting radio airplay, but then producers developing a sitcom originally called Kotter asked Sebastian to write a theme song for the show. He did, and the showrunners were so pleased that they retitled the show Welcome Back, Kotter to incorporate the song's hook. The series premiered on September 9, 1975, and the song received great notices in reviews of the sitcom. After an album's worth of material was recorded and released, titled Welcome Back, the song was released as a single. Let's go to the chart gridiron to see how it did. Welcome Back went all the way to number 1, topping the chart in May 1976. Despite the runaway success of the song Welcome Back, the follow-up single Hideaway was not successful, peaking at a disappointing number 95. Sebastian was later dropped by his record label, and he never charted a song again. However, Welcome Back did qualify John Sebastian as a one-hit wonder.
Sitcoms in the 70s had all kinds of different songs, but I always think of the theme to Chico and the Man by Jose Feliciano. And what a lovely song that was. And I always felt like Welcome Back was kind of a companion to that.
I think that makes perfect sense. It definitely, the songs are up there in the pantheon of 70s TV show theme songs that have had a lasting effect on people and had a lasting impact. I mean, really, when you think about it, I would say the 70s were kind of the heyday of the TV show theme as a force in music. There were so many TV show themes that really became huge songs on the pop chart as well. I mean, you think the theme from Beretta, the theme from SWAT, the Happy Days actually had multiple, they brought back Rock Around the Clock, as well as the song Happy Days in the second and further seasons of the show. And actually, by the way, Pratt and McLean, who recorded the Happy Days, also one-hit wonders. So maybe a future episode of this series will be featured on them.
So the question, how many one-hit wonders are associated with the Sweathogs? The answer is 1. John Sebastian's song Welcome Back.
Well, not exactly. There is a little bit more we can delve into.
Oh, well, let's delve.
The name Sweathog predates its usage on Welcome Back, Kotter, although not by a lot. In 1968, there was apparently a professional wrestler named the Sweathog of Steel in Central California. In 1969, there was an early Ultimate Frisbee team called Sweathogs. Also, in late 1968, a band formed in the San Fernando Valley in California, north of Los Angeles, that called itself Sweathog. Singular, no the, just Sweathog. The band's guitarist, Bob B.J. Jones, explained the band name this way: "Unless you've got it made, got all the money you could ever want, you have to work to live. That's what makes you a Sweathog." Regardless of where the name came from, the band recorded their debut album in 1971. Reviews were mixed, some good, some not so good. It's unknown if some people were put off by the band name combined with the album's cover art. One thing we do know is that later on in the band's career, their record label apparently took the band name a little too literally and sent out promotional sweatshirts with a look of stained armpits, to the horror of some recipients.
Okay, I have a question. I don't know if you can answer it. What the hell was wrong with them?
I have no idea why that album cover. There's a lot of album covers over the years that you wonder why they selected what they selected. Now, some artists will pick a cover purely for shock value to get attention, and you see that a lot with like punk and metal bands, and now I think the flip side of the LP jacket had two grassy knolls that were similar, and I don't know if there was some kind of point being made. I don't know what the point could have been, but it is a uniquely unattractive album cover.
I mean, you combine that with sweatshirts that have pre-printed sweat stains in the armpits. This was just not a good approach. It's like they figured out how to do grunge, but in the worst possible way. It's like grunge as an aesthetic, not a sound.
Yeah, it's just not good all around. But they did snag some Plum Tour opening slots, including for Black Sabbath, Grand Funk Railroad, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. In fall of 1971, Sweathog had a new single out which began picking up radio airplay. The song was a horn-heavy rock groover called Hallelujah. It soon hit the pop chart, so let's check how it did. Hallelujah made it to the top 40, so the song was a hit, but the band never had another one, making them a one-hit wonder.
I'm going to have to look this song up because seriously, I want to hear it.
It's a good song. It's energetic. It's enjoyable. I think it's not ultimately that memorable. Because I've listened ever since I first learned about the band Sweathog. I've listened to it a bunch of times, but I couldn't hum it for you. The band's keyboardist and vocalist, Lenny Goldsmith, made a very notable later musical contribution. He had a son named Taylor in 1985. 5 years later, he had another son named Griffin. Taylor and Griffin later joined forces in music by forming the band Dawes. As of this production, Dawes has released 9 albums since their 2009 debut. While critically acclaimed and having a dedicated fan base, they are, as yet, a no-hit wonder. Taylor Goldsmith is married to singer Mandy Moore, who actually is a one-hit wonder, though. But her hit was in the year 2000, which falls outside the scope of this show, since we only look at one-hit wonders from 1960 through 1999. However, these kids have a one-hit wonder mother and a one-hit wonder paternal grandfather. Who knows if one of them can one day be a third-generation one-hit wonder.
You know, I love this journey with the Sweathogs because it's very 1970s, but it also keeps going. Mandy Moore, I mean, she's not nobody. That's really kind of cool that she's tied into this whole thing.
And I was floored when I found out that the Goldsmith brothers of the band Dawes, who I love, and they're just a really great band, that their dad was in the band Sweathog. So that was a revelation for me for sure. And I guess to tie everything together, we've learned that there are a lot of musical lineages that have helped the offspring get a toehold into the musical world, because certainly with John Sebastian's father and his mom being in the show business world, that no doubt helped him. And with a whole new generation, it's happening again.
Well, there you go. Once again, here at One Hit Wonders, we have pulled a thread and unraveled a beautiful sweater of musical knowledge. And we really hope that you will like this video and hopefully subscribe to the CHARTstoppers channel. We will make more videos, so we want you to know about them when they come up.
Yes, we always love to pull the threads on those pre-printed armpit-stained sweaters and unravel them so they can never darken our doorstep again. So to put a bow on it, the number of one-hit wonders from 1960 to 1999 associated with Sweathogs. 2. One from Sweathogs from the TV show Welcome Back, Kotter, and the band Sweathog as well.
And if you're watching us from the UK, when Mike did this, he's just doing this.
Well, yeah, and we should make a note that the whole one-hit wonder world is thrown in topsy-turvy when you go outside the confines of these here United States of America, because what is a one-hit wonder here in the States is not necessarily a one-hit wonder in any other country in the world.
Like many good things, one-hit wonders have a lot of rules. And we should know, because we've made up a bunch of them here at CHARTstoppers.
Indeed. Thank you so much for watching, and so we'll see you next time. Seasons in the Sun from Terry Jacks. Stir Mix a Lot with Baby's Got Back. Yo-Yo Soho